Hey guys, welcome back to I'm an Actor, Not a Therapist. I'm Sammy. So, what's going on? So, on today's episode, I have a special guest, and we're going to have a chat about the struggles of being a content creator. Y'all, I can't. She is an amazing content creator. She is an amazing friend. She is a pun goblin. She is just absolute chaos. We met through social media, and for that I will be absolutely forever grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Erin Jardine.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Wait a minute. Not this again. Wait a minute.
That is how we're greeting each other from now on.
That's how we're greeting. Okay. So for those that don't know, Erin also has an amazing new podcast called I Read It for the Plot. Mm-hmm. And that's how we greeted each other on her podcast. So we have to continue the tradition on mine. Because we're nothing if not absolutely consistent.
And we're nothing is not absolutely chaotic.
No, that's right. We're absolute chaos demons, too.
Yeah, I'm the pun goblin. You're the bad influence bear.
That's right. I'm the bad idea bear. That's right. I am. Oh, my gosh. I love it so much. So, back in August, I had a mutual friend of ours on here, and we were talking about, the fulfillment that a creative gets from what they do. How much fulfillment do you get from, or how much fulfillment do you get from, creating as a creative. This is going to be a little different. This is more focused. This is going to be more focused on the stress side of doing content creation and doing, the social media thing, more specifically the social media thing than anything else. So with that in mind, how did you come to be a content creator? What was that journey like?
Honestly, I don't even know. It was kind of a fever dream, if anything, and the only reason I even got TikTok was because I had a younger coworker, and she would not shut the hell up about TikTok, and she even tried to encourage me to get one so that I could make embroidery videos. Little did I know that you could also do acting challenges on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And I was a huge theater nerd back in the day, so this was a great nostalgia factor. I started doing acting challenges and comedy bits. I did a few Shakespeare challenges even. Mm-hmm. And then I started following this weird kind of curly-haired Irish guy, and I started doing duets with him, and I became a part of a really great online community, and through that, I met you, my dear Sammy.
Yes.
Yeah. But I didn't gain any good followings or at least I didn't gain it from the following that I did in any really good ways. I had a couple of viral videos, and they got targeted by certain audience members, and honestly, it caused a lot of stress and anxiety, but I learned how to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But I did love doing the acting challenges and original comedy skits, and from there, I took my media, and I just kept growing. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with it, and this last year, I decided, one of these days, I'm going to make a podcast, and but what if I do that? What am I going to do? What can I talk about? What can I talk about for hours on end? And one of the thoughts was comedy, but I feel like as much as I love comedy, as much as I am getting into the practice of it and trying to come up with my own original stuff, I don't qualify as a professional comedian. I don't have any actual background training, and I don't get paid for my comedy skits. I don't even get So I thought, okay, maybe not this subject. I could I would get off subject so many times. So again, what can I talk about for hours on end? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk about books. I could go on a full-on book rant for an hour at the very least. So, yeah. But I had to cut it back down to half an hour. But I also love engaging in conversations with really great friends, such as yourself, about plot twists, characters, and movies, and fiction, and writing, and all that stuff. And that's where I'm at right now. But it took off from just trying to get a younger coworker to shut the fuck up about a clock app.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I wound up here because my voice teacher at the time during the pandemic said to me, you really should be online more. And she goes to me, why don't you check out TikTok? And I went, And she goes, I know social media scares you. She goes, but you really need to be on this. And I said, okay. And then I started looking for, I saw that you could do acting challenges, and you and I know each other through this mutual person that you found. And I started doing acting challenges with them because I said to myself, ooh, another actor. Oh, good, I can keep my skills together while the pandemic runs its course or works itself out, or we figure out how we're going to get back into theaters. And 15,000 followers and a podcast and everything else later, I've kind of developed my own brand. So I get it. The whole, I fell into this because somebody told me to do it.
They gave you a little push.
They did. Or, more like a shove off the cliff. All
I did was give your uncle a little nudge out of the door.
They did, and then they slammed the door shut and locked it behind them. Make sure that I got out there and did this thing. So, you also work full-time, right?
Yes, I have to in order to pay for the embroidery equipment.
Yeah, really. So tell me about the challenge of balancing what is essentially two completely different lives.
Oh, goodness. Well, for one thing, I work in a customer service job in a way that I worked in customer service, and that was actually a lot more challenging because of the scheduling. I manage my time a lot better now that I work a 8 to 5 job than I did when I was working a 1 to 10 job that was physically and emotionally detrimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, so time management for me has drastically shifted. It depends on also when I have a creative moment or creative spurt. I have an idea as I'm like walking through whatever task I'm doing at work, and I'm like, okay, I gotta save this idea, and then I'll get to it as soon as I get home, or I thoroughly plan to do it over the weekend. But at my last job, I barely had any physical energy or the emotional or mental capacity to really manage anything. If anything, doing the creative stuff was a release or a distraction from the stress that I was experiencing at my last job. Whereas here, it feels more like the position I'm in now, it's more of a creative outlet that I can cultivate. And I like how it helps me balance out that mental and physical energy that I have to devote to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how often those of us with, full-time 9 to 5 kind of jobs, do have to find that balance essentially between living two completely different lives. And it kind of does become that kind of a skill where you learn to balance stuff out. Late nights, caffeine, and one more editing session later.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I know. So for people that might not be familiar with your work, what kind of content do you produce? I know you kind of touched on, like, comedy and embroidery, but what kind of stuff do you produce for TikTok? And for YouTube, because I know you're on there, too.
YouTube, I just transfer whatever videos I save on, like the stuff I make on TikTok and CapCut, and then I'll post it on there as well. I don't put my embroidery stuff on YouTube. I mostly do like the acting challenges and whatnot because I feel like that's where I get the most, not just views, but the most interactions. Mm-hmm. But I went down a whole rabbit hole of doing acting challenges, but I love doing the voiceovers and the audios, but I like creating my own stuff because it gives me a great writing nostalgia. It makes me feel more original. Mm-hmm. So I delved into writing my own comedy skits, whether it be comedy pun skits, or which earned me the nickname the Pun Goblin. Yes. And oh god, I love doing those. I haven't done one of those in a while, but I also do some mental health skits where I'm having a conversation with myself. Mm-hmm. Or the brain and the heart, where it's a conversation between those. They get really emotional, very authentic, because some of them are conversations that I will actually have with myself, and I will portray them in the creative outlet. Mm-hmm. But I also I love doing the acting challenges. I like challenging myself personally, but I also like trying new things with as many different outlets as I can, whether it be for comedy, for video editing, or even recently trying to experiment in makeup. Mm-hmm. I'm not a girly girl. I have never been a girly girl. But so I never got that whole tutorial on how to properly do makeup. What you see is what you get, usually.
Right.
And, I don't even like wearing foundation unless I'm making a video. Mm-hmm. I'll maybe do a little emphasis on the eyes, but I have never actually experimented with face makeup for, character stuff. Mm-hmm. So I have been trying to do that recently, and I've been trying to come up with new characters to play and different kind of personalities to play. So that's been, the recent focus. But whatever comes to mind, if I have a creative idea, I try to find a way to produce it. Mm-hmm. And that's just where I am right now. With the embroidery stuff, I haven't done as much anymore because I'm in the middle of a burnout. Right. And that's always fun.
Oh,
but when when I started realizing just how different my content was from each other, because I only have one channel, but I do multiple things. I do comedy, I do acting challenges, I do the gods, goddesses. Mm-hmm. I'll do the real talks, which is the conversations with myself, or I'll do embroidery videos. So I cannot just do one thing. Right. I just can't. And so one thing I tried to do with a bunch of my embroidery videos is I tried to add a little comedic spin on it to promote it. Just kind of give that little blend. That way I have fun making the videos, and I can show just how fun it is to do the embroidery, or I can just be a little bit more, I can dip into that creative side instead of just doing this is how to do this stitch, or this is how I make a pillow. That feels a little bit boring to me. I mean, no offense to anyone else who does their videos like that, because that's their channel, that's their creative outlet. Right. But me, I like to add a little bit more to it. So I try to, have the best of both worlds, and I do that little creative spin on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I've learned very quickly, is that if you're going to, say, do a trend or something like that, and, doing something like an embroidery video kind of can qualify as a trend because there's a lot of people on the app or on the platform that do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's always so important to add your own thing to it. Yeah. Because the one little spin that you put on something is going to make you stand out from the other, say, 20 people that do embroidery videos. Yeah. And then at that point you can truly call it yours. Yeah. You're not just doing the same thing everybody else is doing.
No, and I never liked doing that. I never liked doing the same thing that everyone else is doing it, and especially because just someone else is doing it. I'll do my own alternative way, like book talk. I've I've done many fun book talk videos. I'll take certain audios and then I'll use them like as representations of character tropes. Or one of my personal favorites, I'll do like one of my personal favorites, Veggie Tales.
I can't wait to hear how this works.
No, I used a Veggie Tales song, and I used it to, I don't know if I can do it on, I can't sing the song. I would say the words, I love my duck.
Oh.
And then I said, but I did the caption, I love my smut.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, it just felt creative, like little ideas like that. That just...
Right.
Yeah, I know that if they're gonna make the audience laugh, then it's worth it.
Right.
It's even better if it makes them cringe. So.
Wait, you were the queen of cringe too.
Yes, rightfully dubbed.
Yes, rightfully dubbed the queen of cringe.
Yes. It is my honor. Honestly, I've been making people cringe for as long as I can remember. I own that shit.
You do.
I thrive on it. I love it.
You do.
But because it's funny as hell.
It is funny. Oh my gosh, you guys, you should hear some of the things that come out of the conversations that the two of us have had over the past couple of years. Some of these things just... I look at Erin sometimes, I go, what just happened? What? What just happened here, huh? How did that just happen?
Erin happened. That's how it happened.
That's right. Erin happened. Erin's been here. Oh my god.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, really. Yeah, really. As you're like melting people's brains with the puns and the everything else, just sorry, not sorry, as you walk away to go do it to somebody else. Spreading the chaos wherever you go. Not a bad thing. It's a superpower.
No. 1 point per cringe, 10 points per facepalm.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that so much. So what are some of the challenges you run into just while creating in general?
Oh, on TikTok?
Or just in general, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like, the creative process. It can be like the real world challenges that you might run into.
Oh, timing. Timing is a bitch. Because the only time I can really get to film anything or create anything is after work hours or on the weekends, but it's also around like family time or sometimes I get called into work on the weekends. So
right.
Yeah, getting the time to actually sit down and write something for a skit or getting time to film it, get to prep for it, or technical difficulties. Those are always fun.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. I cannot tell you how many times I've had issues, like with TikTok, especially where the audio gets mixed up, either on one side, and I've had to refilm something or download it and then re-upload it and then reapply the sound. And, but I've been having a lot of fun, like, learning how to edit on CapCut, do some things I couldn't do on TikTok. But most recently... Oh, I'm still new to the whole podcasting business. Thankfully, I know so many podcasters, yourself included, and I have reached out for like certain advice and some technical stuff. You have been my rock during all of this, and I thank God every day for you. So thank you, Sammy. So,
absolutely.
And one of our issues that you and I had recently was that I got a microphone for the podcasting, right? I actually got two. And one of them worked perfectly well, or so we thought.
Yeah.
The first time we recorded an episode together. And then I went back and I realized my audio got cut off at like half hour past.
Yes.
And when I tried to record with you again, the microphone wouldn't even work.
Right.
It wouldn't even turn on. So I was like...
Yeah.
Damn it! And then I have another mini microphone that has this weird little sound. Like they're very quiet, but I can hear it sound. And I cannot record with that mic very well because I have to put some music on in the background, and even if you can hear the music, you can also hear it's the slight little whine sound. So I finally got a proper podcast mic.
Yay!
But it was after hours of trying to, edit or try to re-record multiple times and having to reschedule people to record with.
Yeah.
So that has been... Oh, thank God I am so much better at handling my stress nowadays than I would have been a year ago, because I would have been breaking down crying.
I believe it.
I mean, it's okay to cry. For anyone who has to feel their feelings, it's okay to cry.
It is okay to cry.
What is that? Is it Emily Dickinson? Or Emily Dickens? No, Emily Dickinson, who says, or is it one of the Bronte sisters? Crying is not a bad thing. From the very first moment, it's a sign that you're alive.
Oh, it's a beautiful quote, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel your feelings. It's okay. But
yes.
I'm just so much better at managing my stress now than I was about a year ago. A year ago, I would have had a panic attack. I would have had to sit on the ground and meditate out in the cold air.
There you go.
Yeah, now I'm just like, oh, okay, I got a situation here. Fix this. And then take 3 deep breaths. I'm good to go.
Yeah, technical issues. See, this is what I try to explain to people that don't do this kind of stuff. And no shade to people that don't. Nobody else in my family does what I do. People don't understand that the 30-second to 1 minute to however long that clip is that you see on TikTok could take a week to put together. Between technical issues and lighting and editing and costuming and, I want to reshoot this, and hey, I had a technical issue. There's a video that I'm actually still sitting on that I need technical help with, because I have literally tried all of my avenues that I know of to fix it, and I still can't fix it. And I'm hoping that I can get it fixed so I can throw it into the world, because I'm actually really proud of the video, but with the technical issue that it's having, I can't release it because it doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's technical issues happen, lighting issues happen, time constraints happen, and these are the challenges that, unless you're doing this, unless you're creating this kind of stuff, it's kind of difficult for people to kind of understand. They see the 30-second clip online and they go, oh, that looks great. And you sit there and you're looking at it going, this took a week to do. this was a week. All this editing, all this lighting. I shot that scene 3 times. It's a dance.
Yeah. I had to have a drink to get myself to calm down from this.
I resisted the urge to text somebody at 3 a.m. going, I'm going to yeet my phone out the window.
I broke the phone. I broke the ring light. I need to buy a new one. I have to wait another week to get a new ring light so I can film this one video.
I'm sorry, you broke your ring light?
I dropped it.
Erin.
Gravity, okay? It's not my fault.
Gravity check. It works.
It was defying gravity.
What the hell were you doing?
I was trying to move the camera.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. It happens.
It does. It does happen. I've gone through 3 ring lights already.
Thank God for Target. They always have them in stock.
Oh my gosh, yes. Target and Amazon. Target and Amazon.
Target's closer.
Yeah.
You'd have to wait for shipping.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's super true. So going along with, creating and releasing stuff into the wild, as I call it, and this is kind of a conversation that I had with our mutual friend when they were on my podcast as well. But do you feel a pressure as a content creator to always be producing something or to release X amount of videos in a certain amount of time or anything like that? Like, do you have that kind of pressure of, oh my gosh, I have to release 3 videos today at these times? Because, when you're first starting out, that's kind of how you're taught to kind of grow your audience is to release multiple videos across multiple platforms multiple times a day. Do you still kind of feel that pressure? Did you ever feel that kind of pressure?
I did at first, but then it actually took me a huge wake-up call with one of my videos to kind of get out of that mindset. I wanted to post all of my videos all at once, all day, in one day. All the things I had saved in my drafts without even fully editing them or giving them a caption. But I also realized that was due to social media addiction.
Right.
And one of the ways that I had to wake up about, or one of the worst wake-up calls I ever got was when one of my videos went viral. Ooh. And it was one of the stupidest... This was one of the worst mistakes I have ever made on social media. Ooh. And this is coming from someone who makes cringy pun goblin videos.
Yes.
Okay. So I made the huge mistake of asking about what the hell is the council?
I remember this video you did, yes.
That video not only went viral, but it got targeted by a bunch of the councilmen.
Yes.
One of them I actually did kind of connect with on social media. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was actually really funny with his response video. And then it actually got met by the Vanta Lord himself.
Oh, crap. I don't think you ever told me that part.
Yeah, it got on his... a couple of my stitches or my video got on his page.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The council and the coven, I think it is.
Yeah.
The coven, they welcomed me almost instantly.
Right.
And I was like, do I need a witch's hat? Where can I sign up for this?
Right.
Yeah. But no, they were nice enough, but the thing is, the council is split into two sections. It's the guys that are there for, like, the playful boys versus girls. Oh, it's all just a joke.
Right.
And then there are the actual misogynists.
Yes.
And they were targeting my video all throughout my comment section. I cannot tell you how many disgusting comments I got. And the most mild of them was, go back to the kitchen, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And it caused me so much... like physical pain in my chest, stress. Right. And I reached out to a friend of mine. I was like, I don't know how to deal with this. Mm-hmm. And, I don't remember the full advice that they gave me at the time, but one of the things that I really had to decide was I tried to make some videos asking them to stop, that I'm done. And I tried to make other videos, but they kept targeting this video. So finally I decided, you know what? Fuck this.
Right.
Part of my language.
You're good.
I deleted the video.
I remember that.
And I felt so much relief when I did.
Yeah.
I felt so relieved. And because I had to have that wake-up call and realize I actually do have the power to do that. I definitely do have the power as a creator to block or delete comments or block users.
Yep.
I can delete my own videos, especially if they're ones that are causing a great amount of stress.
Yes.
I mean, the videos of the stitches are still up on, like, some other people's content and whatnot, but my video is completely deleted.
Right.
And that's something that I had to... I am in control of my own media. I am in control of my own comment section, because I can moderate it.
Right.
Or I can filter it. And I can delete or block accounts. Mm-hmm. I can't delete accounts, but I can delete comments I don't like, and I can block accounts.
Account. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was a huge wake-up call for me, and I've had to do that maybe a couple of times since then. Yeah. But, like, that was, just taking down that video, that caused me immense relief, but it was also really, really important wake-up call in that regard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean...
So... That compulsion is still kind of there to post as many, or if you anticipate, I have this really great video, I want to post this as soon as possible.
Right.
One of the things my mindset is, okay, I have this video, I try to pace it out as best I can, not just like throughout the week, but I see my content and I'm like, one of my pet peeves is I don't like repeating myself very often. Mm-hmm. It is a personal frustration, even though I do it myself quite often.
Right.
So I try to space it out to make it look kind of like how you see numbers in the odd section. You'll see 1, 3, 5, odd numbers. I kind of pace it out kind of like in that pattern.
Okay.
Like, I'll try to do embroidery video, comedy, acting challenge, duet, that kind of thing. But it also depends on what I actually do have saved in my drafts. What I actually have to post to, or what I actually have content, the content I actually have ready to post and present, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of them are still duets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to make the time to get back to writing my own original content. I love doing the duets. I love doing the acting challenges, but I also feel more authentic to myself when I do the more original stuff.
Right.
So I need to make the time to do more of that. Mm-hmm. And I pace it out as best I can with what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I try to fight that compulsion. Maybe I care more about my compulsion than I do about the rates or the numbers. People are going to like my stuff or they're not. They're going to follow my stuff or they're not. I leave that completely up to them. Yep. And my goal on the media isn't to... I'm not doing this for a career. I'm doing this because it's my social media, and I'm here really originally, as I was originally, just for fun. Right. You know, this is a fun outlet for me. It's different for you and for other professional actors who use this as part of their careers. Right. I do this for fun and for nostalgia, and so I don't feel the need to, or I try to control that need to post as many as I can for any rates, especially if I know, this probably isn't going to get as many views or that many interactions, and that's okay. Right. I learned how to be okay with that, because the alternative of it getting too much is overwhelming and extremely stressful. So I'm okay with the minimal amount. Yes. I'm okay with the minimal amount. Yes. The only time I'm disappointed that it doesn't get that much interaction is when it's something I really worked hard on, or something that I'm really proud of, and I'm like, but I kind of say, okay, so why am I disappointed in this? Why should it matter how many people see this? Is that a people pleasing trait of mine? And am I really what should I focus more on? How many other people like it, or how much I like it? Exactly. You know, because I think at the end of the day, and you know, what I tell myself and what I tell other people, you know, when people are like, "Oh, I love your content," blah blah blah. And I'm always like, well, that's, you know, thank you. Like, that's very nice, and I'm very glad that you guys like it. And I always say to people, like, you know, I'm making this for me, of course, you know, because you need to like your own stuff. We put a lot of time and effort into this kind of stuff. So you kind of have to, while making the audience that keeps coming back to you, you kind of do have to make them happy to a point. You know, at the end of the day, you still have to be proud of the work that you put out, and you still have to be happy with the work that you put out, the quality, you know, the message you're trying to send, the story you're trying to tell in those 30 seconds to a minute. You know, you do have to still be proud of the work that you do for essentially for your brand. But one of the things that you said that kind of I had to learn, and this was a conversation that I had to have with somebody when one of my videos went viral. And it wasn't the first time I went viral, because I think I've gone viral a couple times now, just by luck. But there was one video, the very first video that I released, that hit 1 million views. And I remember getting such horrible, awful comments that if I were a different person, I would have walked away from all of this. And I remember reaching out. I really was for a couple of days there, like, to the point where the community that you and I were in was starting to notice, without me having to say anything, was starting to notice that I had stopped talking for a while, that my videos weren't what they were.
And people were, reaching out and they were kind of concerned. And then I had a conversation with somebody and got some wonderful advice. And since then, it's kind of taking the power back, like you said. It's your channel. You decide who sees it, who doesn't, who gets access to you where. You have the power to delete comments. You have the power to mute people off your channel if you're live. The great thing about being a content creator and putting stuff out on social media is that to a point, you have total control of what you put out and who sees it.
Exactly.
To a point. You're never going to get rid of trolls. And if people think that they can, I've got a bridge to sell you. But at the same time, you can decide who and what you allow people to see, right? Because that's what we all have kind of come to realize about social media. We're showing people what we want them to see. But at the end of the day, you also have the control of who you allow to see what you want them to see.
Exactly. And you also have the control over how you can react to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, I've blocked accounts or I've deleted comments. I've had to block DMs.
Yep.
I've had to block a certain amount of DMs.
Yep.
It's not people who, reach out and say, hey, I like your content. I'll say those. But there was one incident recently where one person was consistently messaging me and they were saying the same thing over and over again, and it was rather disturbing and creepy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I told you about this a little while ago. One of the quotes that they said was that they fancied the pants off me.
Yes, I do remember this conversation. Yes.
I was not comfortable with that. And for the record, and this goes for pretty much any woman who's dealing with this, I don't answer to men I don't know.
Yes.
I do not engage in conversation, especially with older men that I do not know.
Yes.
I block their accounts almost immediately. I can't stop them necessarily from if they create a new account, but I can block that account as soon as if whatever happens. But you can choose who you engage with. You can choose how you react to their interactions with you.
Yes. Yeah. And on the other side of that, you can choose who you won't interact with as well.
Exactly. There have been a couple of occasions where I'll see something and I actually get a funny creative idea from it. Like someone says a mean comment and then I'll respond to it either with a snarky comment of my own, and then I'll delete, and then I'll block the comment or their account or whatever. But there have been times when I have had to make videos on my own account saying, "Hey, be respectful of my chats," because they're targeting other members in your comment section.
Yes.
Say whatever the hell you want to me. I don't care. I can block your account, but be respectful in my comment section. I will not only block your account, but I will call you out for being disrespectful. So,
yeah, I've gotten to a place now where you can say whatever you want in my comments, like I'll deal with you accordingly. The only time it really bugs me is if somebody says something to me or about me in response to a comment I post on somebody else's video. Because then you don't have the control to delete it anymore.
But you can still block their account.
Yes, but that only blocks it for you.
Yeah, true.
You can't delete the account and block it, making sure that they can't come back and type it again. That's when it bugs me. When I comment on somebody else's video and then somebody trolls my comment on somebody else's video, because then that just opens the door for others to do the same, and now my control is gone because it's not my video anymore. It's not my video. It's not my comment section.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know, that's when it bugs me specifically. But other than that, like I said, that's the great thing about social media. We always talk about the downsides of social media. And believe me, there are a lot of downsides to social media. You have to be a certain type of person in order to be able to survive in this atmosphere, But at the same time, it's great for people who are like you and I, learning how to not be people pleasers. Learning that if I don't want you in my space, you don't get to be in my space.
There you go.
I can block you and I can silence you and I can make sure that you don't have access to me anymore. And not only that, but then I also block your access to my followers.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't get back into my comment section, you also can't see the nice comments that my actual followers or the actual community that you and I are in are leaving on videos that support each other.
Exactly.
So that those trolls that decide that they want to troll can no longer do so anymore, at least in our instance.
Yeah.
It really is a great thing that we're able to control at least that much of it. In any kind of entertainment, any type of creativity, you're never going to have total and complete control. That you just know that going in. You're not going to please everybody. Not everybody is going to like your stuff. Not everybody is going to be your audience. And that's just something that we as creatives, like, we deal with it. We're, that's fine. You don't want to be here. Nobody's forcing you to be here. Like, you don't have to be here, nor do you have to announce when you're leaving. You can just depart. This is not an airport.
Yeah, you could just, press that little button and just let them fall through the trapdoor.
Exactly. Like, you don't need to stay, man. You can exit anytime you want. Like, exit through the gift shop on your left on your way out, but, like, you can leave.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining in that Val Kilmer voice from Tombstone. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were there.
Right? Oh my gosh. But that is the one good thing that I can say about social media, is that it does give the creator some control over...
some empowerment.
Right. It gives them some empowerment to decide who will have access to them and when. Mm-hmm. And how much access, say, somebody trolling me is going to have to the people that genuinely want to be there. Because once I block one person, they're not going to be able to get access to the other people that genuinely want to be there. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a very powerful tool that, personally, I think more content creators should exercise. I think that there's an element to all of us content creators that we just want to create the content. We want to keep people happy. And, unfortunately, I've heard from more than one creator, that they have to take a step back for their mental health, and they have to... they have to protect their peace. Hey guys, I have to disappear for a little while. Some stuff is happening, and whatever the case may be, I see at least 2 or 3 of those kind of videos every single day. Mm-hmm. Just randomly on my FYP. And I think that at least some of it, now I'm not talking about like family stuff. Like, so there are some people that create content that every so often have to go, look guys, something's happening in the real world and I have to go take a break. That you can't avoid that. That's going to happen. But I think for those creators that don't exercise the power that they do have in deciding who and when, who sees their stuff and when, like, I think that has at least a part to play in these creators that say, hey, I need a mental health break. I think that might be, now I can't obviously speak for any of these people, but I think that if I had to put money on it, like, that's where some of this kind of comes from. Is that some of these content creators, and it either is because, you know, they just want to put the content out and make people happy, or they have too big of an account to do something like that. Once you get to, you know, be in the numbers of some of the people that I see on these social media channels that have 10 plus million followers, you know, how do you regulate that? You know, that's when it becomes challenging to do stuff like that. But that's just, you know, from the outside looking in at the bigger creators like that, you know?
Yeah. And I think that the real thing that you have to focus on is where does your obligation truly lie? Not just to yourself, but when in regards to your audience members,
right.
Are you obligated to engage with every single one of them? Right. Are you obligated to entertain every other person or just make them feel something? Because there's a difference between... There is a difference between trying to make everyone happy and to entertain them in general. Entertainment is giving them an escape from reality, but one of the ways that you can give them the best escape is by making it feel as real as possible in some ways.
Right. Absolutely.
And, yeah, you could be watching this. You could be watching a mental health video and still be entertained.
Yeah.
You could be watching a comedy skit and be very entertained. Something that triggers some. The endorphins or just certain emotions, because you're focusing not just on the emotions of the audience members that you're hoping to achieve or hoping to bring out of them. You're focusing on what this project or what this creative outlet will make you feel.
Right. Yeah.
So, what are you obligated to do as? What are your true obligations as a content creator, as an entertainer?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So on this lovely trip we're going on about content creation, the original question I had was, what is your favorite content you create? But I have a brand new one. Okay. Do you have, and this is a question I get asked all the time, and I never know how to answer this question. Do you have a favorite piece of content that you've created? Like a favorite video that you've done?
Oh, there's so many.
And that's what I always say when I get asked.
Yeah. I think one of my best ones was a conversation with myself. One of my most emotional ones was a conversation about myself where it's like the mirror exercise. And I'm reflecting on certain things I have had discussions with myself about, some really dark truths, and I think that was one of the best videos I've ever made in terms of like creating something really emotional and very personal and authentic. But in terms of like, I'd have to go through my actual media and pick out the ones that I did the best. In terms of duets, I think there's a couple of Hades and Persephone ones. I did one where it was Labor, the song Labor, and it's two of them, the Hades and Persephone Labor, but also the one where it was Daphne and Apollo. Yes. Or the story, or the Daphne story, but it's to the song Labor. And I actually loved doing that character. I want to do more of her. But there's another one, and it's from a oh god, I actually just loved doing this audio in general. It was Judy Garland and one of my favorite actors of all time. I loved this man ever since I was a child, Gene Kelly. And it's just her, like, in a protest. I think it's called The Pirate. Okay. It's where she's like, once and for all, I do not love you. I know it's hard for you to understand, but I do not love you. And he's like, well, then why did you just let me die? You would have been rid of me. And she's like, well, I wish I had now. Now will you get out of here?
I love it.
Yeah, I just like putting comedy skits, and I love doing the Greek mythology. I like doing themes, certain puns and transitions, but I don't have just one favorite. It depends on... there's some things that I'm really, really proud of, but I think... Okay, no, I take all that back. I know exactly which one I'm the most proud of. Okay. It's again a conversation with myself, but it's me as Social Smeagol.
Yes, I remember that one.
Where I'm like, I think we're ready to start dating again, and then I do my attempt at a Smeagol voice. I'm like, dating? What's dating?
I remember that one. Yes.
But the best, my favorite part of all that was the very ending, where I'm like doing the whole Smeagol Gollum bit. I'm like, and if it doesn't, what then? Well, if it doesn't, then we goes to bookstore.
Oh
and then I hold up freaking, and I did this just for my friend who loves this book. If it doesn't, we buys us books. Like if the date does not go well, we buy books, and then I hold up a touch of darkness.
I absolutely love that. Yes,
I loved filming that so much, and that destroyed my voice though.
Well,
trying to do the Smeagol voice.
Well, yeah. That's always a good time right there.
Yeah, that and a duet with our mutual friend where it was like the nice guy.
Oh.
I did like a collaboration video where I was like playing, what about, let's go with the good girl.
Yes, yes.
That was my first time doing an edit like that in CapCut, and the script itself came out so well. I was so freaking proud of that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So essentially, the comedy bits.
Yeah.
The comedy bits I'm the most proud of, and certain transitions. But the transition I did for Labor, that one I'm the most proud of because I turned from like light and very pink floral Persephone to dark Persephone.
Yes.
And I was so proud because, not gonna lie, I felt sexy as hell
I
doing that
love
one.
That. Oh, I love that.
I don't often feel sexually appealing, but whenever I put on that dress, I do. And I loved doing that side of Persephone, especially the bit with the pomegranate.
Yes.
Yeah. So that whole transition, that is one of my favorite transitions, but the best ones I'm the most proud of are the good girl and the social Smeagol.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It took me a while to pick it out, but I was like scrolling through my own stuff today just because I'm taking stock on some stuff.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite videos I ever did, because nobody saw it coming, was the video with our mutual friend where they're playing Gaston.
Oh, God.
And the sound is, do you really think you can stop me?
Yes!
And the concept that I came up for that was probably one of my favorite videos, because I remember I told maybe 2 people what my idea was, and then I just kind of released it into the wild, and I literally broke our entire community for a couple of hours.
I remember that!
I broke our entire community. Like, the conversation continued on Discord. Like, it started in my comments section and just carried over to the Discord.
Oh, I fucking love that.
It was absolutely hilarious. It was probably one of the best concepts I've ever come up with. And I could not let it pass me by, because I knew nobody else was going to think of doing what I did with that video.
Oh, God. I wanted to do something with that one, but I never could get around to it, or I never, God, I either wanted to do something else with that audio.
You totally should. I'll send you the video that I did. You can rip the audio off of it. Well, not
Thanks.
rip it, but you know what I mean. Like, you can go to the thing and use the audio.
If I come up with a creative idea. I finally got a sort of bell dress. It's like a historically accurate one, but I still need to do some adjustments. I need to do some adjustments because I got a small, but it's too big on me. So it's like one of those Amazon big ones.
Oh.
Amazon small.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add some lace to it or something.
Okay.
Some trim.
Yes, I remember you showing it to me. Yes.
Yeah, I still haven't done that. I still haven't done it. I'm still trying to learn how to sew on clothing, but I always forget to put the freaking stabilizer or whatever the padding.
Right.
I need to learn how to do that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite videos I ever did.
I love
was that one. That, and there was, I don't remember if I came up with 3 concepts, if I'm the one that came up with 3 concepts for it, or if 3 separate videos were done and I just duetted all of them, where the audio was like, nice try, but 2 can play this game.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Hades video where the staff was broken during it.
Yep.
And I remember I did 3 different concepts for that video, and I think that was the first time I did multiple concepts for the same video.
Oh, God.
But that's another video. Like, here's the thing that, like, absolutely wrecks me sometimes, is that, especially with these Greek ones, with, you know, that sound about Athena and stuff like that, like, I put my own twist on it, and I don't actually play Athena. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't actually use that character. But because that's the name that's used in the song, the amount of comments I get saying that, oh, you don't look like Athena. And I'm like, but that wasn't the point of the video.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily supposed to be. Just because her name is used in it doesn't mean that that's who I am.
Hell, I don't look like Athena. And
right.
yeah, I still played her, or I don't even look like Persephone. I think Persephone's supposed to be blonde. At least she is in the Touch of Darkness series. You don't always have to look exactly like the description of the character, especially since some of these characters are whitewashed anyways. But
exactly.
Yeah, but you can get creative. That's the whole point of this. You're supposed to,
right.
It's a creative outlet, your own interpretation, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are probably some of my favorites, were those duets. And then I did one piece of original stuff. I have more ideas to do more original stuff too. I just have to write it all out and shoot it all. But I played Ergia, who is the goddess of sloth. And it was me basically cleaning the house for people to come over and hang out. And Ergia's just lounging on the couch. And I'm like, do you want to help clean? There? And my character's like, meh. Meh.
I'm good.
Good.
I remember that. I remember you showing me that. Like, your concept and ideas for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, I think that one I'm super proud of, too. Just because I came up with the whole thing. I shot it the way I wanted to. I didn't have to ask for help. Like... Yes. That one was a lot of fun. And people actually want me to do more of that character, so maybe I'll come up with something else for her to do. Do it. Maybe I will. I have to think about it. I have to shoot the other one that I was telling you about the other day too first. Okay. Yeah. That one I might need technical help with. But we'll see.
Are you having technical difficulties?
I am. We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. Beep.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again?
I haven't. It still won't respond.
Why did that sound Australian? I was trying to go for Jersey.
Know.
Hold on. Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? There it is.
There it is. Unfortunately, there it is.
By the way, if I offend you in any way, shape, or form with my terrible impression of a Jersey accent, please.
Nah, you're good. You're good. So my last question, and I think this is kind of one of those things where you look back on everything and you know what you know now. You didn't know what you didn't know now back then. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you know now that you wish you knew back then when you first started?
Some fucking technical skills.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh my Lord.
I wish I had as much patience with myself back then as I do now, but that has to be learned. And
yes.
Here's something, and I had to recently instruct someone. Okay, I had to recently instruct someone who's a perfectionist on how to do embroidery. Mm-hmm. And they're one of those people that if they don't get it right away, then they don't want to do it. Oh. Yeah, but or they expect themselves to be perfect at first time, and I had to sit down with them and I had to tell them, look, the stuff that I learned I'm still I don't consider myself a professional, but I get better as I go because I learn as I go. I didn't learn this overnight or after one stitch. I self-taught myself.
Right.
All this stuff. I didn't just learn from other people's tutorials, but I experimented as I went, and I developed my own style. And I had to be patient with myself because I had to teach myself patience with myself. And the same thing comes with, like, learning technology. You're not going to get it overnight. You're not going to immediately know how to do it. You have to learn how to do it. The mind cannot process information it does not receive. I cannot stress this enough.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, again, I wish I had more patience with myself back then. I wish I had the technical skills that I had back then that I do now. That's why I do a lot of refilming a bunch of my videos. Because I like to compare the progress that I've made from then and now.
Yes.
As far as, like, that, I wish that I had allowed myself also more time to embrace my own personal cringe. Like, I was already really comfortable, but only, like, with certain parties.
Right.
But the more I grow, but the more not the more confident I get, but the more comfortable I feel with myself, the weirder I get, and I love being more weird. I stop worrying about whether or not, you know, people are going to like it, and I say, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Or or whether or not everyone in the comment section is going to like it. It's like there's something really detrimental to my brain, and I'm trying to shut it off. It's that little saying, well, I'm used to being disliked.
Yep.
I'm used to being disliked from a very early age, and I'm used to certain people voicing that dislike, and I'm trying to stop my brain from saying that because it's not something that I should be used to. Or something that I but like it's not as a form of acceptance, but as a form of, like, a coping mechanism. I don't want to be a people pleaser, but I also don't want to subject myself to the opinions of others all the time. I've gone through that, and I don't want to do that again. So I wish I had been less of a people pleaser back then, as I am less now.
Right.
So especially when it comes to the people pleasing in media. When it comes to people pleasing in real life, that's the issue I really got to work on.
Yeah, really, right?
If you know, you know.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's I wish I knew the technical things then that I don't know now. Editing, camera angles, lighting tricks.
It's one of those moments where you're like, you couldn't have figured this out sooner?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it took one of our mutual friends coming over to my house, looking at my equipment, looking at me and going, I'm going to teach you how to do this. Because they were trying to help me through videos, like through video chats, and I just wasn't getting it, because sometimes for me, I need somebody to show me what in the world they're talking about, so we need to be in the same room. So when they came to visit, we walked in the door, and the first words out of their mouth was, show me your studio. Show me where you film. So I took them into my studio, and they looked at my ring lights, and they said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do this. We're going to figure this out for you. Because as great as our mutual friends have been with lighting tricks and things like that, there are certain things that even today I struggle with. And I hate to, like, use this as, like, the excuse, but it's because I'm short.
Oh.
It's, you know what I mean? It's because some of the tricks don't work because the angle for somebody that's, say, 5'3", 5'4", is going to be different for somebody that's 4'11". So the trick might not work the same way.
That's fair.
You know, and I wish that when I was first learning how to do everything, how to make the camera angles work to my advantage. instead of, say, looking dead on at the camera, making me look the size that I actually am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've learned now over the years how to fix the camera angles to make me look taller, or to make the lighting look a certain way, or something along those lines that I didn't know when I first started, that I literally had to have somebody physically in my home and showing me how to do that.
Have you ever tried candlelight lighting yet?
I haven't. That's going to be my next trick that I try.
I highly recommend it. It's very satisfying. It gives a gentle flicker, and it's just very like I said, satisfying and flattering. But it's also really great because if you get the scented candles, then your whole room smells nice while you're filming.
Oh, there you go. I have to also like find the right character to do that with too.
And just don't, set the house on fire.
or the carpet.
Yeah, or the laundry that your candle might accidentally fall into.
For the love of Pete.
I put it out?
Oh my Lanta. Okay. Well, on that very arsonistic note, I think this is at least a place to end the episode. I don't know if it's a good place, but it's a place. Guys, if you guys...
This whole episode is fire.
This whole episode... This whole episode, yes. Erin, thank you so much for coming to hang out. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And guys, if you like the episode, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. It really does help when it comes to this kind of stuff. And until next time, y'all, I will talk to y'all later. You all have a great week. Wait.